Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Look at the stats. 5 out of the top 6 televised rated games on the WNBA this year all involve Caitlin Clark. The only one that doesn't was a second half of a doubleheader in which Caitlin Clark played the first game.
Only on SportsGrid.
It's Ferrall on the bench in the biggest way possible. What are we doing here? It's Ferrall on the bench in the biggest way possible, hanging out the bad seat, a broken data, bad apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City, the Big Apple. Ooh, people dressed in plastic bags, directed traffic, some kind of fashion shake-it-up. And in Monmouth County, New Jersey, by the Stone Pony, there he is, fresh off a Chris Stapleton concert at Snoopy. He's been singing country songs, Tennessee whiskey, ever since he got on set today. Coach James Young, along with Mr. Freeze, Sammy Cheers Malone, Yarnell, J.J. Bradley Beal, Matty Jordan, thus is betting above the rim on a Sunday, Game 2 of the NBA Finals tonight. We've got the Garden in Boston, the site of Game 2, just like Game 1, where they blew out the Mavs and held them to 89 points. Are we going to have more of the same tonight, Coach? Yesterday, you claimed that the Mavericks were going to win outright.
Yes, and that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I like Dallas tonight. I think you're going to get a big rebound performance out of Kyrie Irving. I think you will not see them lose by 27 points from the three-point line. I think they'll be more connected. If you want to take the safer approach, yeah, you can take Dallas plus the points, but I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on the money line, Ferrall. I'm not going to run away from it. I think this is critical for Dallas because you said it best. Boston's going to get a game in Dallas. So if you're Dallas, and if we all think Boston's getting a game in your home floor, that you got to get this one because there's no way, Ferrall, you're going to be down 3-1 and win 3 straight to win the series, including 2 at the TD Bank Garden. So with the line being Boston minus 6.5, I do like the Dallas Mavericks plus 6.5, but I will sprinkle at plus 220 on the money line that they win the game outright tonight.
Yeah, I was seeing, today, still this morning, 7. You could have got it at 7 this morning. Is it dropped to 6.5 everywhere?
Yeah, but a lot of places dropped to 6.5. So that is what I'm seeing as well. There must be monies coming in, and they're expecting this game to be competitive, and they're expecting that they're going to take this, they're going to win this game. So to me, yeah, I mean, you could look around and shop, but everywhere it has it as 6.5 right now. Opened up at 7.5, but 6.5 right now is the line.
Well, as far as that total goes, it's up to 216. The thing that I think about it is that there's no way they're having 89 points again. Are they really going to get shut down again? I don't think so. So I'm feeling the over, and it started at 214.5, now up to 216. So, even all week on Coast to Coast, I was like on the over for game 1. That went under. I'm on the over for game 2. I'm going to go back over the rainbow.
Yeah, I think, listen, you said it best. 89 points when you had Derek Jones Jr. shoot 2 of 9 from the floor. Derek Lively get into foul trouble. Kyrie not aggressive. You're going to get better performances. You're not getting 89 points out of him. Now, here's the other reason why I like the game to go over. Boston, Ferrall, and you know this, has fallen asleep in game number 2s. They won game 1 easily versus Miami. What happened? They lost game number 2 at home. They won game 1 easily versus Cleveland. What they do? They lost game number 2.
What about the
at
Pacers?
Home.
They kicked their ass.
Listen, they beat the Pacers 126-110, but that was a game that you got to remember, Ferrall. Number 1, it was only a 4-point game when Halliburton got hurt in the third quarter. It was 73-69. It was a ton of points in that game. I think this game is going to go over because of the deficiencies of Boston and their wildly inconsistent play sometimes on the defensive end of the floor. I think that can allow Dallas to carry the game over, but that's also why I like the plus the points and even to steal the game, because Boston has shown its weakness, particularly in game 2 after game 1 wins.
This crowd is like, bearing down on them, packed, sidelines, packed end lines, no room for breathing, no room for error. I felt like when I was watching the Mavericks in game 1 that they just couldn't shoot in that building. Like I was sitting there watching them going, the crowd is screaming obscenities. They're crazy. They're lit. They're drunk, and it's packed. And it just seems like, to me, it's just all over them. They're all on top of them, and they're giving them the business, and they're not reacting well to it, shooting the rock. I remember the first 3 of the game went down, right? What was it, Jones? And then they didn't hit the broadside of a barn for the rest of the game.
Yeah, listen, I think that there is, listen, that crowd is wild. And they're wild, and they're going to attack you, especially a guy like Kyrie Irving. I think there's a lot of ways to look at why this crowd will be involved in the game. Obviously, nothing more than the fact that they just can't stand Kyrie. But I just think that you're going to have enough offense with the Mavs to kind of get this up and over that 216 or 216.5, whatever you said on BetMGM is the total. They're going to be better. Now, for me, also what you need, Ferrall, is you need a stronger start. If you look at game number 1 closely, folks, Boston absolutely jumped them, honestly, to me, once Porzingis checked in the game. So you can't be down by 19 points or 20 points at the break, or 21 at the break, and think you're going to come back. You're going to see a better start out of Dallas, particularly Kyrie Irving, and I think that will carry their way through. Don't play from behind. Remember, they worked so hard the third quarter for all to come back into that game. They didn't have anything left. They'll be better today, especially from the start.
I hope so. 35 of 84, 7 of 27 from downtown, 12 of 19 from the line. That's like watching Liberty and Sun yesterday, those numbers. I mean, here we go.
I was waiting for that to come out of you. But Ferrall, out of all those shooting percentages, okay, and I understand you only shot 42% from the floor. Ferrall, you cannot be outscored by 27 points at the 3-point line and expect to win.
Fair enough.
That's the key. They got to defend the 3 better, and they got to shoot the three better. And it's honestly, if you really look at it, Boston shot 38.1% from three. Not wild. It's the volume of shots they took and the difference of how many they made. If you could get somewhere around 35% from Dallas and kind of limit the attempts, run them off the line, then you're going to be playing basketball that way. That's what I expect Dallas to do today.
Do you think there's, I was talking about the building and the crowd, and that they, the sight lines of their shots, something about the optics of their shots, like when they're shooting. I mean, they were shooting bricks. I mean, it was awful. Like, do you think they can't shoot in that building?
No, I just think the moment was too big for some of them in game number one. I think the moment was too big for them in game number one.
But for Kyrie, that's ridiculous. This guy's been in the biggest games ever. And he shot worse than all of them.
He was 6 of 19, 0 of 5 from 3, but that's why I'm betting on the Kyrie comeback. I expect him to be much better, and if he's better, the other players should follow suit.
So the Liberty did hand the Sun their first loss yesterday, 82-75. And these are two of the best teams in the league, and Vegas, obviously. I think those are the three flavors of the day. We'll talk about that. We got 4 WNBA games today. We'll talk about that later. It's Betting Above the Rim, brought to you by BetMGM.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the game starts, so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Ferrall Coast to Coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game Time Decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live. Prime time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage Late
Sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, Betting Above the Rim on a Sunday. The game is tonight, obviously. Game 2 in Boston, and it's at 8 o'clock on ABC. 6.5 is the number, 216 the total as we stand now. So Jason Kidd said that Jaylen Brown is the Celtics' best player. Let's listen to Kidd talking about Brown.
Well, Jaylen's the best player, so just looking at what he does defensively, he picked up Luka full court. He got to the free throw line. he did everything, and that's what your best player does. Just understanding. He plays both sides, defense and offense, at a high rate, and he's been doing that the whole playoffs. I mean, when you talk about the Eastern Conference MVP, and it seems like he's continued to pick up where he left off, and so he's playing at a high rate. We just gotta be a little bit more physical with him, and again, we gotta keep him off the free throw line and out of the paint, because again, he was finishing at a high rate, or he was getting fouled and getting to the free throw line.
Coach, what do you think of that?
Gamesmanship. Absolute gamesmanship. And you, by the way, Ferrall, I like that Mavs hat that he was wearing. I like that Mavs hat. I may have to cop me one of those. But when you really think about it, do you really believe that Jaylen Brown is the best player on the Celtics? I mean, I hate the Celtics. This was pure, let's take the focus off of us and let's give it to Boston. And let's start the Brown versus Tatum debate. Folks, there is no debate. Jason Tatum is the best player on the team. Jason Tatum, who did not shoot the ball well, 6-16, still had 11 rebounds and 5 assists. He's always going to out-rebound Brown. He's always going to out-assist Brown. Now, I understand he picked up Luka Doncic's full court, yada, yada, yada. I'm not falling for it. The question is did the Boston Celtics fall for the comments that Jason Kidd said in that press conference?
But do you think that in the playoffs and in the Eastern Conference Finals that he's wrong? I think the biggest scorer for them has been Brown. And I think it's, I've talked about it before, where he's problematic because of his legs and hips. Like, he's got powerful legs and hips that he can drive, and he can post people up and body someone up backwards into, the end zone as he drives them into the cameras so he can get a layup. I mean, the guy just goes and goes. I think Holiday does the same thing. He can bang you down low enough to wipe you under the glass, like, so that you're, you know what I'm saying, Coach? When a guy can body you down so low that you're under the basket and he's not, he's shooting a layup. Like, he does that with his hips and legs. I hate him too, worse than you. But I have to say, I respect talent no matter what team they're on in any sport. I don't bemoan guys that are great. I think he's great. I think he, you've heard me say he's a ball hog. He doesn't pass, all the rest. But when it comes to purely getting buckets inside and outside, he's lethal. He's lethal. I think he's been their best player in the playoffs. I would agree with you that Tatum's the best player on the team and does more and means more. But in the playoffs, it's been Brown for me.
See, here's what I'll say to you, Ferrall. Jaylen Brown has been the best scorer for the Celtics in the playoffs.
Right.
Jason Tatum has been the best overall player.
Doing more.
Right. So you could be right in both ways. I just think Jason Kidd is saying he's the best player. I'm not taking him saying he's scoring. I think he's trying to say he's the best player and more important. And I do not agree with that at all. I think
he's just messing with him.
He's messing with him. I think he's messing with him. And I think it was very smart on his part, because I think it changed the narrative. Because, listen, Scotty, there's always been this at times, whose team is it? Is it Tatum's? Is it Brown's? Because remember, there's been drama. There's been points where, I think Brown's been mad at Tatum, because I think a couple of times there's rumors that Tatum wanted to get Brown moved, especially they were trying to get KD. So I think there's something there with those two.
Not once he got that bag of money. He got all that money. He don't care about nothing anymore.
Right. But here's the thing. It's something where there was, to me at times, I think, an issue between those two guys. And I think it's something that speaks to trying to get young guys against each other.
I don't believe it. You know why? Let me tell you why. Because they win too much. Like, if guys hate each other on a team and it doesn't work, they don't win. Like there was tension and there was drama and there was fame and fortune with the big three in Brooklyn, and they didn't win. These two win, and if they're having a problem with one another, somebody got to prove that to me, because they win and they don't care about all this. This is all media bullshit. Is all it is.
Oh, of course.
Those two brothers play ball together and win. I don't think they have a problem with each other at all.
Number one, it is media, and that's why Jason Kidd did this purposely in the press conference.
It doesn't work.
But you said they've won. They've won. They have not won it. They have not won
fair
it.
enough.
They got to win it, because if they don't win it and they don't win it next year, they're going to break the team up. And
they blame those two for the weather, taxes, inflation. What don't they blame Tatum and Brown for the Red Sox not being good? I mean, they blame those two for everything in Boston. They blame them for the Bruins not winning the Stanley Cup. Those two get blamed for everything. They've been once, okay, and they lost to a team that was flat out better than them. Let's just get real here. The Golden State Warriors were flat out better than them, and this is the series where everyone's saying they have to win, or then they're going to start freaking out. Because I don't think they deserve to freak out over losing to the Dubs in 6 with all the titles that Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Green won. So we'll get reaction from Tatum and Brown next.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the game starts, so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Ferrall Coast to Coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game Time Decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live. Prime time.
We got not one, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage Late
sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, Coach. Let's see what Jason Tatum had to say about Kidd's rib.
No reaction. This is a team sport, right? We understand that. We wouldn't be here if we didn't have JB on our team, and we could say that for a lot of guys, right? We've all played a part in getting to where we're at, and we understand that. You know, people try to drive a wedge in between us, and I guess it's a smart thing to do or try to do. But we've been in this position for many of years of guys trying to divide us and say that one of us should be traded or one's better than the other. So it's not our first time at the rodeo.
Coach, it's like, to me, this is Jordan Pippen.
Yeah, but I think Tatum tried to take the high road and deflect, but then recognize that it's something that is media driven. It kind of to your point. So I thought it was a good response out of Tatum. You're not going to say no, it's me, but for him to mention other guys and how other people are important and it's not our first rodeo. Yeah, it's NBA Finals. Everything is more magnified, but so is your play. So I think what's important for a guy like JT in tonight's game is allow the game to come to you. Don't think you have to rescue or save the game for yourself. But honestly, Ferrall, that includes JB. Like, you got Porzingis, you got Holiday, you got Derek White. You got literally, I would say, 5 guys can get you 20 points in a game at any given point? So to me, allow the game to come to you. Don't think you have to take it over.
Listen, this guy is enormous, and so is Brown. And I think good teams, every great team that's won titles had great players. I could go on and on about the Lakers, about the Pistons, about the Bulls. It goes even like San Antonio with all their chips. They had great players. I know people will say it's, only one guy. I don't believe that, Coach, that, one guy, those days are over, in my opinion, like, a Bill Russell, a Wilt Chamberlain. Now it takes a true team. Like, you have to have all the parts and a bench and a coaching staff. It takes, all of those commodities to make it click. I don't believe this team for 1 second is about either one of them individually. I think that together they're lethal. I think the other pieces are lethal. I think Al Horford's lethal from 3 and blocking shots, getting rebounds. I think Porzingis came in and was lethal. Let's listen to Brown now and see what his opinion is of it.
We've been just extremely focused on what our roles and our jobs are. We've all had to sacrifice. Jason has had to do that at the highest of levels, right? And and I respect him and tip his cap for it. But right now, at this point, it's whatever it takes to win, and we can't let any outside interpretations try to get in between that.
And that's all there is to it. Just ball. Like, he already knows what he can do. He could have 30 tonight. Tatum could have 30 tonight. We've already seen Kyrie and Luke have 35 apiece. We've seen anything over 25 apiece from these 4 guys is generally, Coach, translating to W's.
Well, I think what's amazing to me is if you look at Ferrall, you kind of talked about it, 2 years ago playing against the Warriors and losing. You have to look at this. It's about more than Tatum and Brown. Holiday is better than Smart. Derek White is better than what they've had. Porzingis is better than Big Rob Williams, right? Hauser's developed. It's about the whole team. And I'm not saying Joe Mazzulla is better than Ime Udoka, but what he has done is he has Charles Lee and Sam Cassell on the bench with him. They're all better. You're not going to win it with 2 guys. You're right, Ferrall. It takes a team and a staff to win a championship.
Well, when we come back, we'll look at who Coach thinks has the edge for the MVP of the finals. They've played 1 game, and people are already trying to figure out who the MVP is. How about we play tonight's game first? How's that for a plan?
anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Ferrall Coast to Coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game Time Decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live. Prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
Late
sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right. About the Rim brought to you by BetMGM on a Sunday. The game is tonight in Boston, game 2. And it's a little disturbing for me that everybody's trying to figure out who the MVP is already for the finals. Who do you like here, Coach, in terms of the talk about MVP?
I don't know, Ferrall. It's one game. I mean,
Right.
obviously Tatum is the favorite. You know, obviously people think if Dallas makes a run and wins the title, it's going to be, you know, Luka Doncic. To me, I'd rather bet it game by game and kind of go from there. If I'm going to take anything, I know it sounds wild, I may take Kyrie to win the Finals MVP just because I'll put a couple of bucks on it, and it's such long odds. Because to me, you said it best. You need two players, two stars, and a bunch of role guys to win a championship. Think they need to have an elevation of Kyrie Irving's game. Kyrie Irving had 12 points, 3 rebounds, and assists, 6 of 19 from the floor, all 5 from 3. What's absolutely awful, they need Kyrie to be better. So Kyrie Irving, who came in before the series, I do believe, I want to say 20-1 to win MVP. I think he's pushing more like 40-1. For me, I'm just going to take a value play on Kyrie to win it.
So look, I don't have a problem with that. It'd be the most pay for you would be if he pulls it off. But the reality is this, is Luka Doncic already has it with his 30-10. Until someone has a game better than his performance, 14-26, 10 boards, 4 threes, and 2 steals, until someone has a bigger game than that, and he's going to do it again. If you think for 1 minute that guy isn't going off again tonight, and what is it, Wednesday night in Dallas? Is that when the next game is? I think it's Wednesday and Saturday? Is that what you're telling me it is? So
Wednesday, Friday.
All right, Wednesday, Friday. What's the difference? Here's the deal. My man's going off on, I think every night. So my problem is, I think he's already in the lead. He's like Secretariat, right? No one's catching him. Once he goes out, and if he puts together 1 or 2 more games over 30, it's over. He'll get it if Dallas wins the the title. He'll be the MVP. If Boston gets it, we still have to determine who that is, because 22 is nice, and Brown obviously had the best game, but a 16-11 double-double isn't too shabby either. But I would say, 3 blocks, 3 steals, having 6 boards, even 2 dimes, that, he's the leader in the clubhouse. Your boy Jaylen Brown is the leader right now. But look at that. 5 dimes, a block, all those numbers. It's, no one else on that team has a chance. I mean, I know White had 15. I know Horford had 10, 7, and 3. Holiday 12, 8, and 5. That's impressive. But Porzingis has a better chance of getting it, Coach, with his 20 that he had in 20 minutes.
Well, I think the reason why I say Kyrie is this, because of the fact that if you look at the fact that you're right, that Luka did have a 30-point game, and he's got the best game so far in the series. They also lost by 20 because Kyrie was awful. If Luka has 24, 25 points and Kyrie gets you 30, 35 and they win, and let's be honest, Ferrall, is Kyrie capable of giving you 30, 35? Yes. He is one big game today from in dropping that number dramatically. If Dallas wins and Kyrie has 30 points, that 40-1 Ferrall is going to be what? 17-1? 15-1? So to me, value play, yes. I'm not putting my kids' college tuition or the mortgage payment on it. Couple of bucks at 40-1. I think it's worth the chance.
Well, listen, he better have a big game tonight. I'll tell you that much, Kyrie Irving, or they're going down 0-2 and going back to Dallas, having to dig out of a deep grave. So what's the latest on Dan Hurley? You said he was at a concert last night or something, and he's partying, and that he's having a practice today in stores with his team.
Well, supposedly Dan Hurley, while I was at Chris Stapleton at the Big Snoopy, Dan Hurley was at Billy Joel at MSG. And supposedly today he's supposed to have workouts with his team. His recruits, his 2024 recruits are there, just so people can understand this for the college game, for those that don't understand. Before your freshman year, you're allowed to start taking classes at the university that allows you to turn around and you could do stuff with your team. So when you look at the situation of this, as soon as you graduate, you can go. Everybody's up at UConn. There's a workout today. Then I think the decision's going to be made. I think he flew home probably Friday night late. He huddled up with his family. And if Dan's going to leave or stay, I think he's going to tell his team first. That's what you want to do. You sit the team down. You let them know. I think a decision's coming tonight. Now, it would suck because it's game 2 of the finals. Maybe they keep it till tomorrow morning. Either way, by tomorrow, we should have a resolution to this, because here's the thing, Ferrall. It's $100 million. Danny don't lie. Okay, I'll just tell people that. I will bet that he got offered $100 million to coach the Lakers, because he doesn't lie to people. That's never been his thing. To me, it's about the control, and does he want to make the move to LA? Ferrall, for $100 million, I'd pack his bags for him.
I mean, honestly, somebody will. He won't lift a finger if that's the case and he takes the gig. So the question is, I feel like, I mean, you may be right. It's tomorrow that they announce this. But tomorrow, everyone's going to be talking about game 2 of the NBA Finals. Tuesday is the day, if you ask me, that nothing's going on. The next game is Wednesday. Monday is fallout from game 2, and everyone's going to be talking about game 2. And then what? They're going to stop in their tracks and start talking about Dan Hurley again? If you were Hurley, would you want the full day of attention that Tuesday would bring, or would you rather do it in concert with the results of the game tonight that everyone's going to be talking about tomorrow on all the TV shows?
Ferrall, I don't think it matters on what we think. It's going to really find out who finds out the story first. And if he says something to his team after this workout today, if someone gets a hold of that, which someone will, some kid will leak it. It happens. But here's the thing. If this was any other team, I'd be like, wait till Tuesday. But there's one key thing. It's the Lakers. And if anybody would want to ruin Boston's parade, including be up 2-0,
you're right.
Who can hijack it? The Lakers and LeBron. Lakers, LeBron, Dan Hurley. The bigger story tomorrow morning, if it happens today, honestly, could be Dan Hurley going to the Lakers because we all know LeBron runs everything. So it would just put the attention right back on the Lakers.
So do you
I think
think,
it'll be a Heat story.
So do you think today, right now, at that workout, he's telling his kids that he's leaving? And because if you're a kid going to UConn right now and you're a recruit in the incoming class, whatever you're playing there, and he leaves, then I think there's going to be a mass exodus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
immediately.
30-day. There's a 30-day window that you get to where everybody can get the leave. Here's the thing. It's not fair to Dan. It's not fair to Andrea. It's not fair to the kids. It's not fair to UConn. It's not fair to the Lakers. It's not fair to anyone that this drags on more than another 24 hours. There's got to be a decision made, and it should be done by Dan.
And then what are your sources telling you that he's going to do it?
People I reach out to are still leaning that he's going to take the job, and I do as well. I think he's going to do it.
And leave UConn for the Lakers and the greatest franchise in the NBA, not according to Boston.
$100 million.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the game starts so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Ferrall Coast to Coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game Time Decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live. Prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
late
sort of
night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
It's Betting Above the Rim on SportsGrid, and we're brought to you by BetMGM. Make sure you get the SportsGrid app on iOS or Android. It's free. You're going to love it. You heard me, free. And it does everything. You can watch the network, listen to the network, follow your favorite hosts like Coach Young, and get everything else. Stories, news, highlights, scores, in-game odds, you name it. It's all on the incredible SportsGrid app. Download it today. So just one last thing before I get into the WNBA for today is that like I had talked about the Lakers literally, and I mean this, like when I think of the NBA, I basically, the two greatest franchises in the NBA without question are the Lakers and the Celtics, right? I mean, it's that simple. And it frankly always has been. They're both sitting on 17 banners. Their rivalry is unequaled in the NBA by anything. Nothing comes close to it. Do you think that one is better than the other? Because I've always felt, and I lived out there for a long time, and I have never seen anything like, for my money, the Showtime Lakers or just the Los Angeles Lakers in general. To me, the most sparkling Veuve Clicquot franchise in the league. I've always felt like I don't deny what Boston has done. I don't deny how great of a franchise they've been. I just think the Lakers are bigger. I always have.
If you think about it, the Boston Celtics are your blue collar franchise, right? The toughness of the Northeast, the grittiness of Boston. But me being 47 years old, growing up, when I had the Converse weapons, Ferrall, and I know you had a pair of weapons, I didn't have the green and white birds. I had the white, purple, and gold Magics.
Right.
And by the way, shout out to Converse for bringing the weapons. Right, shout out to Converse for bringing the weapons back. I don't know why you're charging $120 damn for it, but that's a story for another day. But to me, there was nothing better than watching the Lakers and you see Kareem outlet magic, boom, 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 throw it to Byron Scott running a wing. Here comes James Worthy, alley-oop, throwing the alley-oop to Michael Cooper, right? That style. It was amazing because out of all things I was watching this morning, is ESPN had the Lakers Celtics, thing on, the first one. And it was really cool about, I was watching this morning as I was getting ready. And if you really thought about it, the way, the excitement that the Lakers brought, going to a Lakers game when they're good, kind of like in a way like the Knicks are good, it's an event. It's the place to be. There's nothing more exciting to me as a basketball purist than the Lakers being great and them running in Showtime. To me, when the Boston's great, maybe I hate Boston, but to me, if you're asking me the most exciting team to watch over history, it's the Lakers. It's not even close. And the best team I love to watch was that Showtime Lakers from 80 to 91 when they lost to the Bulls.
So I used to obviously go to those games. I saw Kobe and Shaq win 3 of them, and I saw Jordan and Pippen win 3 of them. I worked at Sports Channel Chicago, so I was in both markets, right? At the time of some of their glory, and I used to go to games at the Forum, and I went to games at Staples, which is now the Crypt. But there is nothing like going to Laker games. Back in the day at the Forum in Inglewood, it was crazy. And I got to tell you, who do you think was bigger? And this is another question. Is Red Auerbach or Dr. Buss? Because Dr. Buss partied, and Dr. Buss was covered with playmates and smoking hot chicks and, bling, cigarettes, booze, women, parties, disco, all of it. And Red Auerbach never had any of that going. It was all business. If he caught his players in some Studio 54, he would have freaked. But in L.A., Buss was like, let's go to the Playboy Mansion and party.
Hey, listen, man. Shout out to Jerry. Rest in peace, Jerry Buss. I mean, that would have been my kind of guy. I mean, Ferrall, I would have paid money, thousands, just to be a fly on the wall of that club, the Forum Club, underneath the LA Forum. That's all I want to be. I just want to sit there and just be there and just hang around. That's all. Red Auerbach, I mean, he probably loved his $5 cigars.
He loved himself.
I mean, he loved him some of him. But Jerry Buss, he loved him some of women. So to me, it asks me about popularity, Jerry Buss. You ask me about style of play, the Lakers. You tell me about LA versus Boston, it's LA. I will say this, folks. I'm a New York guy. I hate everything about Boston, except for the clam chowder. But I think I get that pretty much anywhere in New England, not just in Boston.
So listen,
you know,
I've gone up there. I've had a lot of fun. I've gone to Yankees, Red Sox. I've been to the Celtic games. I've been to the Bruin games. I've called games at the Boston Garden. I've done it all in Boston. I've gone to a wedding at Fenway Park. I had Fenway dogs at Fenway Park at a wedding. A lawyer of my buddy, his daughter got married at Fenway Park, believe it or not. And I was at a wedding at Fenway Park. It was unbelievable. And it was like prison to me because I hate all these teams. But I respect their championships. I mean, and some of the great players that have played there. I can't deny, like, you know, Russell and Kuzi and all of them, Havlicek, even Big Red. Walton was great with them in '86. They got all the banners. They got all the great players, McHale, you name it. But I could sit here and talk about the Lakers were a bigger party, just a way bigger party, juicier, everything about it. The Laker girls, they didn't have any of that in Boston. It was showtime, and it was unequaled. And I don't know how anyone could turn down a long-term offer for that much money to coach the Los Angeles Lakers. I want to see this guy actually turn them down.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Ferrall Coast to Coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game Time Decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage Late
Sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, betting above the rim brought to you by BetMGM. We told you the Liberty beat the Sun yesterday. The Dream beat the Sky, 89-80. How did your bets turn out on that one? And then I know there's a bunch of games today. I suppose we're gonna do those later. But what did you think of yesterday with the Atlanta beating Chicago?
Not surprised. My only bet that I had in the game yesterday is I had Angel Reese to go over her rebounding prop, which I do believe, I think it was at 9.5. Angel Reese with a double-double leads WNBA rookies in double-doubles. And in fact, that they're one of the worst rebounding teams in the league. A team like the Atlanta Dream, I'm not surprised. Mildly surprised about the score. How many points? The Sky usually plays a little bit better defense. In regards to the other game yesterday, really impressed by the Liberty. They started out really slow. Started out fast, up by 10. Proceeded to lose the second and the third quarter by 14, but then turned around and won by 10 in the fourth. To me, it was the play of Double J, Jonquel Jones. While people sit here, and they sit here time after time after time, and they talk about Stewie. And I know Stewie's great. She was off a little bit last night, 13 of 7 and 5. Still a good roll around the game. Sab was great. Sabrina Ionescu had 24 points. To me, Ferrall, the key to the New York Liberty is Jonquel Jones. If you look at the finals, and here's the odds to win the WNBA championship, even though they lost their last game, Aces are still even money to win the championship. Liberty plus 180, Sun 10-1, Lynx 12-1. Watch out for the Seattle Storm. We'll talk about that later. 15-1 to win the WNBA championship. But to me, Ferrall, it's the play of Jonquel Jones, who had big shot after big shot, 22 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. People forget when she was with the Connecticut Sun, Jonquel Jones was an MVP. This is a 6'5" stretch 5 that could score the post, that could knock down threes, and will block it and put the ball right back in your face. She, to me, is the key. And if you look at last year, especially the WNBA Finals, even though Stewie was terrible, Double J was great. Jonquel Jones was huge for the Liberty last night, and I think they've shown themselves with that win. Until they play the Aces, right now they may be the best team in the WNBA.
So with Reese having all these double-doubles and with the way Caitlin Clark is shooting and dropping dimes, who's the rookie of the year? Is it Reese or is it Clark?
It's Clark. Hey, Ferrall, there is no way in God's green earth that they're not giving this kid the rookie of the year. She's going to have the usage rate. She's going to have the ball in her hands. So she's always going to be in a situation where she can impact the game. So to me, I would never go against this kid to win rookie of the year because her usage rate is the same as it was last year with Iowa. This kid's still giving you 17, 6, and 5, Ferrall. That's all you need to know. Her shooting percentage isn't great, especially from 3. It will get better. Caitlin Clark will be the rookie of the year.
Well, it got better the other day when she had 7 threes and 30 points. I'm surprised the way they let her get abused. And I'm also surprised, to be honest, that they shafted her on the Olympics. So they're letting people hurt her on purpose, like trying to hurt her. That's been proven already. We've already seen what Carter did to her. So, and that's not the only one. I mean, everyone and their brother has taken. Brianna Stewart took a cheap shot on her with that full, that screen she set at half court knocked her on her ass. She knew what was coming. She planned that. So the league, the players, they want to torture this girl. Let's face facts. And they screwed her on the Olympics. It's amazing to me because we talk about the Olympics or the attendance and the ratings being through the roof. Why is that? Do you honestly believe that the attendance in the WNBA would be up if that girl wasn't in the league?
Oh, absolutely. The girl's in the league. And I'm going to say this. 2 things. Number one, NBC is the broadcast partner of the Olympics. If they wanted her that bad enough, they would have went to the Olympic Committee and say, find a way. I still think there's a pathway. She is an alternate. Chelsea Gray has not come back yet. So I do still think that there is a path. By the way, about that screen with Brianna Stewart, I'm a coach. You know who I yell at? The person guarding Stewart, because they didn't call the damn screen. Call the screen out so your teammate doesn't get killed at half court like he did a couple of weeks ago.
It's always the teammates' fault, in my opinion, that don't talk and call out screens left, right, or look out, that you got it coming.